Ever feel like you're just overwhelmed? Like the world is spinning completely out of your control? Well, what if I told you there's an ancient toolkit for finding calm in all that chaos? And it's probably simpler and way more powerful than you think.
Yeah, it really all starts with that familiar, kind of sinking feeling, right? That sense that we're just passengers, completely at the mercy of forces way, way beyond our control.
I mean, seriously, do you ever feel that way? It's like this constant low-level hum of anxiety. You're just watching things unfold, feeling like you're strapped in for a ride you didn't even sign up for.
Just look at this list for a second. The 24/7 news cycle, other people's opinions, social media judgment. Sound familiar? So much of our modern anxiety comes from these external things. We pour a ton of energy into worrying about them, but here's the kicker, and what we're about to dive into. They're fundamentally not up to us.
So if all that stuff is the problem, where on earth do we find the solution? Well, the answer comes from a place you might not expect. We have to go back, way back, to a very unlikely figure from the ancient world. See, the answer comes from a man who was born a slave, a man who found a way to be freer than an emperor. And that's exactly what makes his philosophy so incredibly powerful. This wasn't some idea cooked up in an ivory tower. No, this was forged in the harshest circumstances imaginable by a man named Epictetus. He didn't just think this stuff up, he lived it. He proved that true freedom has nothing to do with what's happening around you. I mean, just look at his journey. He starts out as literal property, sold to someone in Rome. But then, after years of hardship, he gains his freedom and eventually starts his own philosophy school. He went from being owned to being a teacher whose ideas would go on to influence emperors. He learned the hard way that while someone could own his body, his mind was always, always free. And folks, that single realization, that's the key to this whole thing.
Okay, so that brings us right to the heart of it, the absolute core of his teaching. This is the one tool, the one single idea that you need to change, well, pretty much everything. It's called the dichotomy of control. And I know that sounds kind of academic, maybe a little stuffy, but trust me, it's one of the most practical ideas you will ever encounter. Think of it like a simple filter for your entire life. For everything you face, you just ask one simple question. Is this something I can control or not? And this chart here just lays it out perfectly. On one side, you've got what's up to us. This is your inner world, your judgments, what you choose to want, your own actions. That's your kingdom. You are the ruler there. And on the other side, well, that's what's not up to us. And it's pretty much everything else. Your body, your property, your reputation, what other people think or do. Epictetus says all that stuff is fundamentally external. It's not truly yours to command. And here's the punchline from Epictetus himself. If you hold a correct view of what is your own and what is not, no one will ever be able to coerce you or hinder you. The moment you really, truly get this, I mean deep down in your bones, you become untouchable, right? No one can make you judge a situation as bad. No one can control your will. That is the source of real freedom. Okay, so this all sounds great in theory. Control your judgments, be free, sure. But how does this actually work? You know, in real life, when you're stuck in bumper-to-bumper traffic or dealing with that impossible coworker? Well, Epictetus gives us this brilliant little mental model. He says, when you are about to take on some action, remind yourself what the action is like. So basically, before you do anything, just take a beat and anticipate what it's really going to be like. And his classic example is going to the public baths, which back then were apparently just total chaos. And he lays out this method. First, anticipate reality. You just gotta accept that people might splash you, they might shove, they might even steal your stuff. It's the bathhouse. Second, state your intention. And this is key. You tell yourself, okay, I want to take a bath, but I also want to keep my will in harmony with nature, meaning I want to stay calm. And third, prepare your response. So if or when something disruptive happens, you're ready. You just think, well, this wasn't the only thing I wanted. See that shift? The goal isn't the perfect undisturbed bath anymore. The goal is maintaining your inner peace no matter what happens. So when someone inevitably splashes you, you're not surprised or angry. You literally expected it. And your real goal, your tranquility, is totally untouched. And the amazing thing is, this idea scales up to, well, everything. From something small like a broken cup to the most profound things we can experience, like losing a loved one. If you have a favorite mug, he says, just remind yourself, it's a mug. That way, if it breaks, your peace isn't shattered right along with it. And he even applies this to loss. He suggests we don't say, I have lost something. Instead say, I have given it back.
It's a powerful reframe. It changes the event from a personal tragedy to just part of the natural flow of things.
And this all points to maybe his most famous idea of all, the real engine behind this whole philosophy. It is not things that disturb us, but our judgment of things. Think about that. The traffic jam itself isn't stressful. Your judgment about it, this is awful, I'm going to be late, my day is ruined, that's what creates the stress. The event itself is just neutral.
So basically, he's giving us a practical toolkit for life's challenges. Someone insults you, remember, the harm only lands if your judgment agrees with them. You're in pain, try to see it as a challenge, an opportunity to test your endurance. You experience loss, don't think I lost it, think I've given it back. It's a different way of seeing the world. So what's the big payoff here? What's the price of this kind of true freedom? I mean, why go through all this mental effort? It's not about becoming some emotionless robot. It's about gaining something way, way more valuable. Just listen to this quote from Epictetus. It is better to die of hunger free from grief and fear than to live in affluence with perturbation. Whoa, let that sink in. He's literally saying that a peaceful mind, free from anxiety, is worth more than all the money and comfort in the world. Inner peace isn't just a nice to have, it's the ultimate prize. And let's be really clear about something. The goal here isn't to become emotionless. It's to gain resilience, peace, and the ultimate freedom, freedom of the mind. It's not about suppressing your feelings. It's about not being a slave to them. It's about building that mental muscle so you can choose your response, so you can stay steady even when the world around you is a hurricane. Now that is real power. And he leaves us with this incredibly urgent call to action. Realize that the crisis is at hand. The contest has begun, and you can't put it off any longer. He's saying this isn't some academic exercise for later. Every day, every little challenge, that is the test. That's the arena. And the choice to practice this or just slip back into old habits, that choice happens right now, in this moment. So you have the principles now. The whole toolkit is right in front of you. Which leads to his final provocative question for all of us. How long will you wait to demand the best of yourself?